which it would
Which
be
is
next
messed
week and
up,
would be
man.
really ugly.
Because they are 3-6. They would be. This would be the first time a 3-6 team makes NASL. And for reference, last season, whatever team got last place. I mean, who knows who got last place? Probably like not too bad of a team though. Like they went 3-6 last season and got last place. You know how insane is that? That now that record might be good enough for playoffs. But we're heading in. It's an Among Us start. So already goal going in, but like it's really surprising. I mean, okay, I was about to say it's surprising to see Vice being picked, but I mean it's Merchant. But like on the Among Us start, you'd think that the speed like might be a little bit too dangerous. But like I mean, what else are we gonna pick, man? I don't actually know what Merchant's been up to on his other picks. Maybe you can inform me on that.
It's Vice. It's a Vice Luna world out here, and we're all just living in it. And we have seen Merchant play the Kai a few times, but obviously Grimella taking the pick and known for picking Kai on Oni Village. It's going to be taken out right there. Quite unfortunate, but obviously I think that's a Grimella on Kai on Oni Village is a recipe for success, and he's going to have to do a lot to get through this Estelle Asher, which we saw in some prior games. Been seeing a lot. It's just a great forward duo. They have a lot of stuffing power. Obviously, the Estelle, especially being able to support the Asher from afar, is going to be a big deal. And if Stealth Rock here can get any speed to keep up with the Kai, then it should just be a Bombardier sweep. They're going to have... Like, the one advantage that Kai has is that he's fast. He's very, very fast. And so if that advantage is taken away, what do you even have?
Yeah, good big flip to beat the ult, stalls it out all the way, waits the whole distance. 3Z Breezy, someone who I was just playing Rocket League with right before, didn't know this match was about to happen, thought we were still on match 3, but as soon as it ended, was like, oh wait, I gotta go. I gotta go actually start drafting and stuff. So came in time and is already taking the second barrier. It could be a 3-0 start. Luke is moving up, but Stealth Rock, known goalie, backs up to cover for Luke. But here's the flip. You kind of really need to flip here to take 2, but instead are going to dime up 3Z Breezy, who's going to score it afterwards. Like, I have a few problems with that flip, but we're going into draft.
Yeah, just a difficult spot where that flip was, both barriers up. Obviously, if that was at 1 barrier, it'd be a lot more justifiable. Still pretty scary. Obviously, it went in. So at the end of the day, it went in. But 2 barriers makes it really tough to be flipping right in the middle and getting any tangible value, especially because of how it bounced. But Dropletto being able to pick up bulk up. Been seeing a lot of damage come out on both the BOZO bunch forwards, which is a sentence I've been saying for years now. But bulk up is going to be helping that out a lot. Grimella also picking up Spark of Agility. That's going to be nice. But I think big thing, Stealth Rock picked up a Dash Awakening. Not speed like I was talking about, but that's still mobility. That's still a lot of coverage on the map. It's still going to be a big threat. And Luke picked up a Dash Awakening, which is speed. That is that is the speed that I was talking about. So going to be very, very threatening. And just Estelle, Asher, both characters that don't have any haste. Getting that speed is going to be very nice, and that's going to be Grimella taken out by 3Z Breezy. Something we didn't mention, a little bit of a Sundubu showdown, if you will. The former slot of 3Z Breezy and Shapeshifting picking up the mantle while Grimella has moved to the BOZO bunch. Wouldn't call it a team kill. They're on different teams now, but, you know, these players have played together, storied history, very familiar with each other, and right now it's looking like the Sundubu synergy is still kept alive and well in the Bombardiers.
Yeah, and you know, known Sundubu striker Yoshi on the cast, knows people very well. I will literally be at Grimella's house, staying there for a Pokemon regional next week. So also very familiar with these players and close friends with them all. But already losing both barriers, and this is just the problem, that when you have, like, they took team player, which usually I'm such a team player fan. I think this awakening is so broken. But 3Z Breezy is going to have this like flip here, flips it, it goes up to flip it, which usually seems wrong, but sends it right across. Like, gets through 2 flips. Merchant burns it as well. It's going to be kind of rough going into the next point, Ian.
Yeah, very, very risky flip, but obviously, if it succeeds, it will pay out very, very large, and it did. And the payout was right there. Got Merchant's flip. Obviously got the goal. Dropletto has a flip. That's might be able to get something done. Might run back last set, but it's looking really difficult for BOZO Bunch to get any sort of footing. The defense is just not there. The barriers are always down, and obviously Luke on this Mako pick. That's a defensive pick. We're sitting here. We are going to be holding that barrier down. It's going to take a lot to break through, especially when 3Z walks back. Then you just have an Asher on defense as well. One of the... It's hard to call it like a great reason to pick Asher Brawler, because obviously you want your Asher to go sit on the enemy goalie, but it has a lot of value on that triple defense when you need it. So just really tough to break through this team right now.
Yeah, like you're saying, besides just like the questionable, like maybe, I mean, it's not questionable when it's Merchant, but the Vice on Oni Village, being general, like rough thing, it's just like the rest of the comp also I don't really think like is enough to justify it. Like until we see KOs coming out, we might see a damage increase, but 3Z Breezy dashes in and just wins the strike war off that. Merchant, it's a tough one to win with that timing, where the core being a little bit in front, like because 3Z will still have strike and is able to, if you get too close, then you can get stunned by the breakthrough, which is scary. But if you get too far, then 3Z can just strike it in a different direction after the breakthrough hits the core, which is a really interesting interaction. But Merchant not able to find the solution in time, which would probably be run up evade strike, which is like really hard in the moment. But a little annoying small things about Asher that make Asher annoying to play against when like spots like that. It looks like just like a bad mistake from Merchant, but it's actually like pretty hard in my opinion. My humble opinion.
Goalie player speaking. Yeah, no, I agree. It's really tough. A lot of situations where you have to evade strike or walk up. In this case, both. Just E. But draft went through. We saw Luke pick up rapid fire, stealth rock rockin', the heavy impact. That's tough because, like you were saying, some damage on BOZO Bunch would be nice to try and get a little bit more value out of the Vice pick. Just get like some sort of win condition form, and it is a great win condition into these like super heavy core control oriented comps where you have the Mako, Estelle and Asher. Like any team can do a little bit of KOing, but this is definitely a hit the ball and just stomp on the barriers kind of comp. Seeing heavy impact not go to them is tough. We do have one Stagger Awakening plus tempo swing Dropletto and a big KO coming out for BOZO Bunch. Big goal on the barrage there too. So not all bad. Things starting to look up. We've got a little bit of motion on the BOZO Bunch, a little bit of signs of life. Down 2 sets, but not quite out. There is still opportunities to make something happen here.
Oh yeah, maybe we're not finding damage, but we're finding the KOs, and if they can keep finding KOs, that'll work pretty well. Now here, so it's an interesting flip because so you might, and I'm gonna try and defend this. I'm going to try and defend this flip.
No, you've got it.
It's because, so you might think like, okay, why did we flip this, save one barrier when we have 2 barriers up? When we're going to, okay, double flip! Oh!
Just stop talking, man. Put the mic down.
Yeah, screw that flip, man. It was bad. I don't care. Maybe, low-key, I was going to justify it, but I don't care. Nah, it was bad. We would have
much
before, bro. Just abandon that barrier. Go save your other one, man, or you're going to get that happen to you. The lack of evades just leads to an insane like ult for Merchant to get the KOs and the gold. Just need a double flip. Luckily, Merchant flipping first there, I think. It probably doesn't matter that much who gets that flip, but it makes the clip look better that Merchant got the flip off. You know what I mean? Like that since he gets to hit it instead of the other person, you know?
Yeah, we're looking at the most important parts in this life or death playoffs or no situation here. Priorities are set, and 3Z with the flip, not going to be using it, but getting the second barrier. That's going to be looking pretty nice for Bomba here, while Grimella trying to keep control of the core is doing it. Merchant able to get in, get a little bit of action on the offense, but not able to get this barrier. And again, I think that last point they were on the barriers early, but that's just going to be, he's just going to rip it.
What do we do?
Like, not even step into the goal box, just
3Z literally sends all cooldowns. They're all 3 cooldowns on the bottom side, and then we just hit it to him with flip on the other. I mean, there's no range. The top was just clear. If we hit up into the wall, we're fine. All good. All good. Okay. I shouldn't talk like that. But a pretty big in summary, you know, I think a pretty significant area that's already leading, like, the momentum seems to be carrying into the next set, as we have both barriers down already. Merchant has his flip. We'll probably use it, but won't get the chance to, even if he wanted to, although that was already pretty rough with the breakthrough coming through if the piercing shot didn't hit him as well from Stealth Rock. But on the bright side, they do have an energy advantage, like 3 flips coming up, but Stealth Rock and Luke also right up there with them.
Yeah, I think despite Bomba having the momentum, being able to score a couple points, they do have, BOZO Bunch has all these flips, which is really, really nice. That is exactly how you want to walk
Triple
into a
flip setup,
0.5
that's one.
situation.
Bang! And the
Not even going to need him.
Finishes it off. Yeah, drop Leto. Yeah, just like they have a bunch of flips. Merchant, as mentioned earlier, has that Chrono boost to get in there as well, too, to get that flip active as well. And I think, honestly, a very big part of this forward pressure increasing is the Vice getting that Dash Awakening. I think really, like, turns the game, like, it is a game-changing awakening for Vice to get that first Dash Awakening.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And now picking up Hotshot on that first pick, gonna have a lot of core speed. And hey, core speed on Oni Village, where have I heard this before? It's pretty good. And team player, like, be hitting the ball pretty fast, which is going to be really nice into the Estelle and the Asher, who are both characters. Like, Asher is a big melee freak. You can just hit the ball around her. Who cares? And Estelle, her best tool for catching the ball is usually primary, which you have to time. You have to be very particular. Boom. No, I'm not even going to talk about Mako.
Yeah,
it's dead.
A little Giga Blast action from Grimella. Just, I think, not the first Giga KO this game, if I remember correctly, but like is also going to convert with the Barrage to take that next barrier with no Mako to kind of defend against that Barrage. Does have an answer with the secondary normally, but in this case will not. But here's the offensive pressure, and not even going to need anything more than that final strike from Drop Leto to put that one in, but power play capitalized on very quickly. And what the thing about getting those KOs with one ability is that you have all the other ones to get that power play.
Yep, very, very well done. And I think that they were able to capitalize, like you said, off that power play really well. I hit tab and noticed that Grimella has picked up a Spark of Agility and Peak Performance. I looked at the speed number, and it was 847. That's another 2 barriers. You want to talk about capitalization? A little bit of a miscommunication there. Who cares? 2 flips. That's going in. We have a game on our hands. BOZO Bunch is alive and well, roaring back to take us to a set 5, 1 point away right now.
That's what Rob Leto, one of my favorite, if not like top 2 or 3 brawler to play with. Because this guy, he wins in Strike Wars, man. He waits. He just waits and then down to strike and then strikes after, or at the very least waits a bit longer than other brawlers will. But Luke is going to take that second barrier. Is not going to let this game go easily. 3Z going to get the KO onto Merchant and should have a point here, but it's not going to go in until the final strike of 3Z Breezy comes through. All the hardest strike wars won just for the final strike to end up pushing it through. A little bit too far forward positioning from the 2 forwards in the net.
Yep, I think on the BOZO Bunch side, the barriers went down in a bit of an unfortunate manner. And, you know, you're up 2 points. Like, obviously, you have to close it out. You can't just get 2 points and then not be a closer. It's very important. But able to get that flip out, threaten Stealth Rock a lot, able to get 1 barrier drop, has this flip as well. He's going quite fast. I believe picked up Orb Dancer, who was dancing on the field. You know, Stealth Rock still low, is just looking for any safe spot to hang out on the field while Drop is trying to get this orb. Gets the KO, gets some more speed off that Orb Dancer, gets the barrier, still has his flip. Both barriers go down for BOZO Bunch. And it's a little scary now, but they have the power play, they have the flip, they just need to play it slow, and this should be a BOZO Bunch point, a set 5 bonanza. We just have to see it happen.
Should be, but there's both blinks from Drop Leto going away, which is going to buy a little bit of time for Pomba to get something, and this is a terrible flip, but it's not, because Vice Merchant is right there. I was about to flame the flip, but it was perfect. That's the synergy from the team. They know Merchant's going to be there. Merchant playing with his Vice so much, understands how much forward pressure Merchant brings. Flipping in the corner, usually so bad, usually so scary, but the sudden pass being opened, the sudden opportunities being granted just by having this player on your team it's pretty sick. Yeah,
just so much value. And like you said, hey, that's the Dash Awakening at work. No way Merchant could get that far forward without it. Able to jump in. It's such a threat. Real life jump scare is just a vice in your net all of a sudden. And now we're at set 5. Dropletto picking up extra special, one of Zentarro's best awakenings, especially when you're playing this more core control oriented or just on these open maps, Zentarro, where you're not going for kills all the time. It's such an important tool to control the ball. Just having it more often is great. Though we are doing a lot of damage, Luke looking a little low, is going to be taken out, and all of a sudden, like, BOZO bunch took... Frankly, I will not beat around the bush. Just got annihilated, like, smeared into the paint on those first 2 sets. Roaring back to life, bringing it back. Scaling team here has lost both barriers, but...
yeah, actually, on the back foot right now, 3Z has an open shot and is going to take it. And this is here's the problem, is that even... They put so much damage out, even KOing the goalie. Like, really, it seems so strong, but if you use all your cooldowns on that, like, you need to be really, really solid in your strike wars and in your ball movement afterwards. But this honestly, I think they just gotta start, like, losing the first barrier for fun. What? What? No shot that worked, but all good. A little bit scared of kind of confrontation, and then ends up trying to cross clear into an uncross clearable angle and then get punished for it immediately. And now the punish is going to come through as well as Grimella gets that final score to get it through and bring it back to 1-1.
Yeah, that was a much cleaner point. Like you said, just they got the power play, but were unable to get that second barrier, which is even on maps that aren't Oni Village, just so important. And that last point, though, got a lot of damage, was able to get the barriers. Don't ask what happened, but able to get a ton of value off of it, and that's much more what we're looking for, us BOZO Bunch fans. Not biased, but, you know, one of these teams is fighting for their playoffs chance. It's going to be very exciting to see what they can do. I did not see whose map pick this was, but I wouldn't be surprised if BOZO Bunch picked Oni Village, you know.
Yeah.
And... they're looking good on it now. Again, Merchant is able to apply so much pressure with this secondary, just jumping in. Another flip pass, but Luke is just holding this barrier down. It seems like Bomba has let a few slip through, but is being much more conscious about it.
Yeah, the damage stacking. Luke now no evade, no stagger. Dropletto still has a flip. It would be pretty... Oh, Merchant, like, Patfinger's still ult, maybe? I don't know. Not having that might be a problem, but it's not if the KO comes through. Dropletto gets it, and a good pass from Merchant. The hot shot going to add a little boost there to help Dropletto win that strike war and score that one. And 2-1, and despite the damage increase has been huge for examples like that. Luke already getting KO'd twice in this set, but the speed difference from things like Josh Grimella's styles having Catalyst push fire up and just like multiple speed awakenings is coming in so big here. Grimella about to get flipped once again. As I flipped, I'm like at least twice, I believe, this set already, and is about to get a third one down. And once that comes in, like, notice how fast drop gets, and if Merchant's up ahead, like, bang, right there. Speed didn't actually matter, but it's still a point matters. Both barriers open. Stealth Rock not going to win the interaction. Grimella's going to get double KO'd, but there's still one man left. And if you want one more man to get through, it would be Merchant, but now it's no cooldowns on Merchant. There should be no way to get this one out, and it will be just checkmated by an easy barrier beam from 3Z Breezy. Set 5.5.
Yep, devious flip to get the double KO right there. Incredible value, and that's going to be putting Bomba back in the running, back to match point. They've been here before. Flip burned from Luke right there. That's going to be very significant, and has no energy, is a vulnerable target for all the damage BOZO Bunch can put out, and can't evade clear anything on these barriers. They might go down. As long as Merchant can hold this barrier, I like BOZO Bunch's chances. We see Grimella has a core flip, is going to be crossing that fire up, is going to be surviving so far. Is very scary, but that's one barrier. Do I hear two? Not quite, but BOZO Bunch, they have the ball control. The Grimella is still alive, and that's all that matters for them right now.
Barriers down is going to have Barrage here to try to just throw all the cooldowns out to the sun while you're still alive, but the flip will take him out once again. Dropletto back passing it with the ult to Merchant, but Merchant using the secondary feels really scared to use cooldowns here when you're in a reverse power play situation. to use it offensively when you don't even have both barriers down. But there's the primary going to be used to buy time for Josh to come back up. But it's a really scary spot, but a great clear from Merchant is going to keep it alive. Merchant covering the down, passes to drop Leto, has the overtime team player now. Finally can maybe get value from this awakening with that overtime play. This core speed's going to come fast, has the flip now for defense, but Stealth Rock using that blink. It means it's going to be gone. Going to be forced to use flip already, though, but in the entourage of abilities is not going to be enough to score past Luke. Just going to strike that one away. Now looking for that team player play once again, but passes it to himself. No extra speed from that one. It's not going to matter. Drop Leto is going to get that one going. And the safe play, just using your ult. There's a lot of pressure coming on. Estelle, very scary character on this open net. But Grimella almost has flip again, which is going to be huge for the chances for BOZO Munch. But the pass to 3Z Breezy from Stealth Rock is going to put it in and take down set 1.
Yep, that's Bomba taking this first game here in what turned out to be a much closer game than I think people were anticipating from the beginning. Wow, I'm out of breath. I'm nervous. I'm invested in this match very much.
You might have a mistake. You might have 4 letters next to your username in investing in slot cord.
Yeah, the stakes are high here, but in the end, Bomba was able to seal the deal at the very end. I do think that at the end of the day, the defense on Oni Village was just a little too shaky, and Luke, on the Mako pick, is able to hold the barrier, and that's going to be a lot more valuable. It did get very close. Very close. Both barriers were down in that set 5.5, but in the end, I also think that Bomba's comp is much better at closing out points than BOZO Bunch, so very, very close match right there. But
yeah, another way to look at the game too, though, is if you look at the goals, it was 12 goals to 8, despite it being set 5.5, meaning that there was quite overall more pressure coming from the side of Bomba throughout the series. At the end of the day, that's not what wins the game. Like, the points are what you need to get to win the game. The sets are what you need to get to win the game. But if we're just looking at this from a pure like time like on offense perspective, it really felt like Bomba had a bit of a lead until like they were able to match that Mako speed and able to put some of the justify their damage, like part of the comp with damage pressure and stuff like that.
yeah, but we are going to be revving up for game 2 pretty soon. I'm looking at the map draft right now, and we're going to Night Market. This was BOZO's pick, which means that Bomba selected Oni Village for game 1. Really ambitious. Like me personally, if I'm on any team going against Grimella, I'm thinking, how confident are we really feeling on Oni Village? But obviously, they were feeling very confident. So Night Market coming out here. Again, BOZO pick. Going to see if they can win on their map. It's going to be heavy impact Monu start. Is interesting. I think there's a lot you can do with that start. Obviously, heavy impact eyeballs emoji. It's one of those awakenings, lets you get away with damage, especially on Night Market. We saw BOZO was able to put out a lot of damage on Oni Village, which I guess putting out the damage is hard, but getting the KOs on Oni Village a little bit more difficult than a map like Night Market. We're gonna have to see. Obviously, they might be looking for the Vice. Bomba might be looking to deny the Vice. They're gonna have first pick, I believe, on this map, as it's not their map pick. So we'll have to see if they want to deny the Vice. Probably be seeing the Luna come out, and it doesn't benefit from me these awakenings, but
yeah, dude, the heavy
still
impact, the heavy impact on the
impact.
ult, and maybe you go Rune Luna, get the Rune Luna going, get the heavy impact on the ult. You have the Monumentalist, or I mean, you might straight up, I don't know, but Runes like to go anyway. Sometimes they'd be like, I like heavy impact for some reason. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know if Josh still even picks. Josh Grimella plays Rune anymore, or I'm a little behind. I'm a little behind on the times, guys. I watch, I do actually watch VODs with Rob to help out RTF. Rob might be the best coach of the season behind me, but like
Right.
and you maybe Ian, maybe you got a chance. Maybe you got a chance. Maybe you're top 2. Just maybe.
Maybe in some world. Maybe but ooh, draft's coming through. We see a big Zentaro ban from Bomba. They did not like it. They were not rocking with the Zen, and I think that makes sense. It was a big threat. I think Dropletto on the Zen is able to get a lot done. A very very explosive character, and I think that we were seeing a lot of that value last game. Makes sense that they would ban it. I'm thinking about what these teams might want to draft, and I'm thinking about Bomba's draft last match, and I think they could just lock in the same 3 characters, go triple heavy impact, and have a big smile on their face, which I think sounds great, and I think is a big threat for BOZO Bunch. So we'll have to see if they want to deny that or if they're okay playing into that, if they have a different strategy that could counter it.
Yeah. Night Market, known even throughout multiple iterations of BOZO to be a BOZO liked map. Has the corner lore for Dropletto, and now with Merchant is a map where like you can kind of keep the core in narrow spots that are like more defendable, where you can the barrier is not as hard as to defend basically, so you can justify playing the eject goalie for that reason, where like instead if your barrier is too open, you need like size or speed or like creations to help block that barrier. Like that's kind of why these open maps are hard for those characters, usually because it's like you might think like, oh, open map, like because if anything, like open map, that there's more space for the ranged guys to cover, but it's really just what happens to be is that on those maps the barriers are just like kind of big, which just ends up being a problem. I did want to bring up is that you might think, oh, this match has no stakes for Bomba. Like, why are they even trying to win? Aren't 3Z and Grimella friends? Why doesn't he just throw the game? It doesn't. But what you really have to consider here is the all pro voting. You know, like the only and everyone, there's a ton of recency bias at the end. We all know this. So it's really important that you do well in your last few games. So really, if they want a shot at getting some of them up there on that list, now is the time. Now is the time.
Okay, so the links were made incorrectly. Bomba is BOZO and BOZO is Bomba in this draft.
Okay, so the names are backwards on the draft right now. So that means I don't even did they hear you? Yeah. So what does that entail? BOZO, I mean, so Bomba banned Zentaro, BOZO banned Dubu. Bomba picked now. BOZO pick X Octavia. Bomba pick Juliet and are trying to figure out their last pick and are going to just lock in the Mako and have a very solid comp of those 3 characters on it. Mako now on Monumentalist start and Heavy Impact start. Oh, plus just Juliet sounds really good. That sounds really good on this spot. On the other hand, I've heard some big things about Octavia. I've heard Octavia's been terrorizing the queues with the new primary, but I'm a little sus. I'm a little sus when I see but this is a better map for Vice. It is a heavy impact start for Vice. And really good prep from from BOZO to not be worried and like take the Vice on the 1-2. Because you might think here like, oh, Vice, like this is a great start for Vice, like Merchant, like it's heavy impact start. It's the map we wanted on, and like if Merchant has to pick something else, it'll be significantly worse. Like Luna would be really bad if these Awakenings. So, what they do instead is they just kind of leave. They don't pick the Vice because they don't think or know that their opponents won't pick it. So cool little strategy there. Leave them basically get to pick their first 2 and get Vice for free at the end, because they just don't think or know that their opponents will not pick it, or maybe they're fine if their opponent's picking it. Maybe they have other plans I don't know about. But that's yeah. After as someone who's played with Grimella for multiple seasons, it's cool draft strategies that I can imagine they came up with or were prepared for going into this game. It's Ian. Is Ian with me? Ian, I don't know if I'm alone. I
Oh, so hey, I had my mic muted for some reason. My bad. My fault. I was doing a whole lot of yapping.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
man, this. I just be DC'd or something, but we're back. We're in.
No, my fault. But I do want to say I'm concerned about this Octavia on heavy impact start, and I think that Bomba obviously has a great heavy impact comp. And I also agree 100% with what you were just talking about, not taking the Vice early, not getting scared, because like reasonably speaking, have we seen Shape on Vice midfield all season? Maybe once, but I can't think of the time. And then look at Luke, man. This guy's gone full Mako mode. Every goal he has a phase, and unfortunately, it's right now for Luke picking the Mako and getting it done. But obviously, great picks on heavy impact start. And other thing to note is Dropletto X, famous Dropletto X.
Yeah, like
is gonna be pretty big. It's like
it feels wrong. It just totally feels wrong to see Merchant and Dropletto just on their signature picks on the map, on a map where they're both like good, but like somehow through that I still think I prefer Bomba's comp. So it's hard, but I truly don't know how the power of Octavia right now. I'm just personally not a knower. I'm personally unaware. It could, maybe it's going to be way more than I imagined it to be, but both of them playing keep away from each other. No, neither of them really want to take the core up, but it's fine because they have time to prep up this. And now Stealth Rock is facing low HP, so Dropletto having not really any good way to finish other than that ult, and the heal is going to come through before that can really happen. But kind of an awkward flip there. Hits your ult as well, but maybe it was on purpose so that you can kind of beat the Dorito chip guaranteed. But finally that first barrier going down, the 3Z Breezy. But first barrier on this map, not the hard one, and there's the dash punch to take the second one. You really need help as Vice to win those interactions when you don't have evade. Even if you have evade, there's not enough space. But chance for Dropletto, I think there might have been a shot there, but it was really hard to find if so, and not able to get there. Same there, Josh is going to opt to pass back instead of going for the shot. Luke, no strike shot, important thing to notice. So the open net is scary, but 3Z Breezy just going to flip it in the corner. Only has one option to shoot it at Merchant. There was pressure on Merchant there, but not reacting quite in time, and that one's going to go in.
Yep, boom. And you brought up all the damage coming out onto Stealth Rock, and I think looking at these comps a little bit closer, I was talking about the heavy impact, but really show me on this anatomically correct all where the damage is on Bomba's comp. It's all 3Z, and it's really just for getting better dash punches, or I guess that ult right there where, hey, my bad, so my fault.
Why are they
a lot
all
of damage
dead?
is coming out.
Yeah, why are they all dead? Yo.
But I think that obviously BOZO has a much more consistent damage. Like X puts out damage way more consistently than Juliet, and Vice is usually a complete damage bot. And now the tables have turned. Dropletto still a little low, I believe, still staggered. I don't know if that's a stagger bug or not. Nope, it's not. But Stealth Rock is staggered and is going to be having to do what he can, get that orb, etc. It just seems like Bomba, they have very high burst damage potential, and that's going to be something that they can play into. It's kind of comes with the Juliet, comes with your Xbox, but until they can capitalize on it,
your Xbox.
like BOZO has more consistent damage out the box, and it can only go up. It's just going to be scary to defend with this Vice here. It's going to take a lot, but we're also having some big plays from Merchant right there. Boom. My fault. sometimes you got to mention that the Vice defensively is not very good. So Merchant can show the world why the Vice offensively is exceptional. And that's going to be it right there. Another point for the BOZO bunch. I was going to talk about the set 1X, but we all know that story. And and we're seeing a different story right now real quick. Bomba is not wanting to take this one easily.
Well, don't let him in the corner. Don't let drop in the corner. Well, they got the flip out, which is important. Josh is going to keep the speed up, notably not infinite, but really close on that strike board there. A lot of damage going through, but they are punishing Dropletto for being inside of 3 different people. Has the flip coming up soon, but will have to burn the evade now. Getting the slip's going to be a little bit, or getting the orb's going to be a little bit too hard, so just going to retreat to try to heal up. It's a little scary to do this, but it does, if it works out, when you're able to dodge the 3Z Breeze's abilities for a second time. But there's the dash punch gone, which does mean there's very few cooldowns left to score with, and Josh getting that KO is going to even it up and give them time. And great evade takes out not only an ulti, but a punch. So just tons of time bought here. Dropletto awake, and now the power play is going to last for just a few seconds, but all the cooldowns up for Dropletto here if they can get an opportunity, but Stealth Rock is not going to be able to find the way through. Grimella finds a nice clear angle, is able to cover the longer distance, but the question is, no, the speed not kept up, but Dropletto able to ult to reach that one and find it anyway. Flip going to have to be used, but the box out from Dropletto to put that in. Just really good front to back play from BOZO bunch.
From the back. Looking exceptional, like you said. Dropletto boxing out Luke right there. I believe also got the strike reset at the end of the X Maximus, which, you know, rare second strike reset mentioned, but that obviously got them the goal. So very, very big. That's going to be an aerials for Merchant. Once again, let's talk about Vice with Dash Awakenings. What if you were Mako holding speed and all of a sudden Thunderstruck? And now your life sucks. Now your life, and that's Merchant trades like a, I think 16 or 17 second cooldown now to a 20. It's always gonna be up. You, like, good luck pressing that speed. We'll have to see. But until then, other notable things. Recovery drone on Grimella, very, very big. Again, one revive every set.
Everyone gets one. That's what they say.
Everyone gets one. And as Octavia, that could be. It could be very important. Spark of Strength on drop now has 139 power. It's big. Another Spark on 3Z Breezy, Spark of Agility. So it's going to be a battle for the last Spark here. I mean, what's going to happen is someone else is going to deny it, and then there's just going to be 3 people walking around with 1 Spark. But hey, Sparks are cool. Epic Sparks. Anyway, some KOs coming out. A couple brawlers shot dead in the streets.
A little trade.
And man has fallen in the river in the night market. Sorry, I gave it my best, but we could be better. But that's flipped down for Grimella.
Like and no, man. That was good, man. That was good. I like that one.
Thanks.
Oh,
Someone's
goodbye. Oh! When Dropletto says, "Get down, Mr. President." I don't know if that actually really saved Grimella, but it kind of looked like it did. So I'll pretend it did. But the dash punch is already up, and then is gonna end up in the bear being gone. Merchant, like low-key, thought the strike wasn't gonna reach, and then regret flips, but had already cleared it. So just kind of awkward there, but understandable. You know, we've all been there. But let's see if that's going to get punished. It's not so far if Dropletto going to be able to get the barrier. Is Stein, but who's going to find the finish? Great evade to survive the Dorito ship, but this flip from 3Z Breezy into the runaway while everyone's staring at 3Z. Grimella uses it to score it with a little bit of, I was going to make a Blue Lock reference, but I don't think people will get it. All right, yeah. But good shot from Grimella.
This guy reads the Blue Lock manga. Anyway,
yes, that's the problem. Yeah. Manga reader, by the way.
I like to read. Anyway, great plays from the BOZO bunch there. I really do appreciate Dropletto spending his entire time staggered in the enemy net. That's where you want to be as brawler, and that's where you want to be if you're staggered, so that you're not drawing more aggro on your own barrier. And so very
water one! No,
Merchant
no.
has evaporated. Like a glass left out
Dorito chip.
in the summer heat. It's gonna be leaving. Oh, brawler in the net. We all know how that goes, and that's gonna be a swift point from Bomba. I guess swift 35 seconds on night market, but just well, everyone gets one. You know what they say. So
I guess that's Merchant's one, Eden, right there. But this is a good offensive top ball kickoff. They keep getting these, by the way, doing a really good job of moving the ball behind the net and through the middle, like to find the side that has less pressure and then attacking from there. But unfortunately for the first barrier, he tends to not be that big of a deal on this map. But here's Merchant's ult, putting a lot of pressure on, and barrier not going to fall. Probably not. It's really hard to find that shot when like the Vice goes forward to like figure out how you need to bounce it, what the geometry is, and make it something that's to make it so it's unreachable for Vice. But Merchant secondary and primary now down. Ult was used earlier, so this is an opportunity to score, but just looks like the cooldowns are out, and when Grimella and Dropletto are in the net helping, it's just going to be that much harder. But the speed is up, the flip is online, a lot of cooldowns down, so Drop is relatively safe here, I think, when it comes to dying, but not going to get that barrier. Good strike layering is going to make it too hard, and now is an opportunity for Dropletto to be KO'd.
Yep, Dropletto looking low. Has actually been doing a great job at preventing Threezy's attempts at KOing him. We saw he used the ult to stop the dash punch and was able to zone Threezy away. We saw Bellringer come out against the fiery flurry there. I think we've been seeing some very, very high level brawler survival techniques coming out from Drop, which I really appreciate. Mentioned earlier, but BOZO Bunch, famously a very KOable team, and I believe someone tracked the KO stats, and some BOZO Bunch fellas are pretty high up there. So, you know, having the tech to stay alive is going to be very nice. Not getting KO'd there. The save's coming out. BOZO Bunch still looking good. Every cooldown in the book burned by Threezy Breezy, and now it's going to be a little bit of a slow point as BOZO gets the second barrier.
Oh, for free.
Just
I mean,
give
ult's
them
not free.
give them enough time, and they will be getting the barriers. And that kind of seems like the name of the game. Flip burned. Very, very important flip, but now Drop has his own. If he can get into position, if he can get something done, we could see a BOZO Bunch point to pull ahead in this set. But no, that's going to be flip burned on
bouncing!
defense. And that's going to be Merchant jumping in!
Bubblegum bouncer goal! Bubblegum bouncer goal! For Merchant.
The famous night market angle being capitalized so beautifully by Merchant. And again, like, welcome to the Merchant show. You're gonna wanna pick something up from the gift shop on your way out, because this guy is just I want to say selling. It fulfills what I'm saying, but that actually means something bad, and I'm saying he's doing really good.
What he's selling, I want to buy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Good goal. There's barrier from Josh, but the KO for Dropletto is not going to go through. That is a little bit of evade to survive too. Is getting in the corner, getting the cooldowns out is also just so important. Like, really make them use as many cooldowns as possible to KO you, and they might just give up eventually. Merchant, really awkward chain lightning interaction there, gets it around him, but they still have a really good shot of a goal here, but just closed up by that second goalie in Stealth Rock shape shifting. But there's the blocks out, and then there's a shot, but we're going to hit it right at the two people when they don't have strike shot. Grimella, what are you doing? But the shot is actually going to be stopped by Merchant instead. It might have gone in, probably not, but like still like a little questionable. A little back pass action into the stun. Really well played from Bomba to get that goal in the end.
Yep, and now we're revving up for a 0.5. Merchant and Drop both close to a flip. And not a whole lot of energy at all for Bomba here. I do think throughout this whole series, I've been very impressed with the BOZO Bunch, mostly impressed with the BOZO Bunch flips. And I've been less impressed with Bomba, who I think have just been having to burn a lot of energy against all of this hit stun and damage. But here, Dropletto has the flip. Grimella is taken low, does not have the recovery drone anymore. Dropletto does not have the flip anymore. Merchant does! Gets both barriers! That's what I'm talking about. And now, all of a sudden, BOZO Bunch on this 0.5. They have the offense. They just need to coordinate it. Because right now, I think that they're really struggling to get into position, especially with dying, coughing midfield. But if they can get... They're just one good push away from getting it.
Yeah, Josh having used the abilities to box out here, but if using that Vade on the 3Z ult is actually like super worth, in my opinion, because that just being gone as a scoring tool is, even though the KOs come through, like now there's just so much less pressure, is now possible to save. 3Z probably has to punch up now, but Merchant is going to get it out. Punch comes out, but not is in a way that helps them score. Dash now with no punch isn't going to be enough. Dropletto, kind of scary just for him to be able to shoot at all, honestly. So they're just going to go the other direction, try to put damage onto him. But again, once again, ult and punch out for no KO, meaning now it's an opportunity for BOZO. But Merchant in the front has a possible shot, but the double goalie is just covering too much space. They're going to need some help. They're going to need Dropletto or Josh in there, but there's the dash punch finally used offensively to get the barrier. And the flip in the corner doesn't do anything! What are you flipping? We've been playing this game for 8 years! You should know not to flip there! Dribble down the middle, ult down the side! What are we doing? Just stop. Don't stupid. He'll be old as Merchant. He's a good player. But Merchant now is going to be the next one to have flip. And if he can get a secondary up in front, maybe he can use that to score. Here's the flip. It can go to Dropletto, and the strike force going to go to Stealth Rock, who's going to flip it just in time. Josh a little low, doesn't want the ball, but it's going to be passed back in such a way that Merchant can't find a way to throw it away before 3Z Breezy can dash punch that one into the goal.
I feel like this game has taken 8 years off my life. It's so back and forth, but that's going to be one big goal for Bomba, evening out this game 1-1. And there's that last spark. It's going to be 3Z, who is closer than Drop to picking it up. We'll have to see if Merchant denies it. Probably just doesn't want to, though. Yeah, Rapid Fire is such a good pick. There's so many good picks on the board. Not even taking the spark. It's going to be denied by Luke. And hey, welcome to the Spark world.
I mean, who cares, man? Who even cares, man? Like,
honestly, it forced Drop onto Berserker, which I think is actually going to be exceptional for him this game, as we've been with how we've been seeing the game play out. But you know, we'll see. They traded Luke picking up sparks and restricting Dropletto's options. Again, I think Berserker's good to get 3Z explosive entrance, and I think that will pay out very well, because we've been seeing a lot of dash punches that are just barely missing. But that's one big boom onto Luke right there. The 3v2 coming out for a moment now, power play, and yep, just funneling it in there. Teams just, it used to be for a little bit on my welcome to, it's like the Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob at the campfire gif. People used to be able to defend really well when the goalies died, but it's like, especially with these melee goalies, if they die, everything falls apart. It's just curtains. There's so much of the defense, and if you don't have them anymore, like, whoa, what are we gonna do? And obviously, BOZO Bunch getting a big KO, almost another. Going to be capitalizing on that very well. KO does come out. There's that explosive entrance right there, and now BOZO Bunch has to defend against this power play right now.
All right, good clears. Good clears to stall for time. 1 second on X is going to be in a good spot to defend. Kind of sends it in a good spot for 3Z, but 3Z, you know, doesn't hug the wall because, you know, brawlers. But I don't mean it. You know, hardest roll, by the way. Hardest roll, by the way. Dash punch again from 3Z Breezy, getting back-to-back ones with that explosive entrance plus heavy impact is just adding quite a bit of damage and quite a bit of range. Flip here, he's going to get that guaranteed barrier. Well played from 3Z Breezy, but now Merchant is going to win the strike war. There's Aura Luke into striking, and there's the recovery round coming off for Grimella. But again, like, when that happens, that means your opponent is using cooldowns on it, so you have less pressure on defense and on offense, just like from missing those cooldowns. So if they can make use of that here and score, but not quite able to find the shot. Luke probably had flip anyway, but great pass. Looks pretty great, but not going to be enough. Oh, explosive, almost stealing that goal away. But now this is looking like a good offensive opportunity, but a great way to find it around. Octavia ult, been very solid overall. Just feels like a really good ability, but just not like finding the goal value, you know? But Dropletto just going to straight up bring it in, and Luke's going to get a little nervous. It would have been tough either way. I do think there was a clear angle if Luke just let Stealth Rock run up and strike it, but in the spot like that, it's quite difficult when there's an opponent running straight towards the ball, and for you to know exactly what angle is going to fly. Like, yeah, it's a little tough. It's a little tough.
Yeah, I believe we in the biz call that a little bit of a Mako moment with the secondary there, but that's going to be a big flip from 3Z to get both barriers. We did see him drop his entire kit onto Grimella, only took half the stagger, so that's going to be, you know, a lot of tools down, but Dash obviously back. Still not getting anything, though, and right now the defense is looking really tough for BOZO, which I think is is the name of the game, as this team is just so offensively oriented. But still alive, still holding on, up 2 points in the set. So obviously, you don't want to play around with momentum, but if Bomba's going to take this point, which they do,
Yeah, but
they're
a
still up
miss-pass there.
pretty comfortably.
Yeah, miss-pass leads to the kind of really hard to deal situation. But yeah, like as you're saying, like offensive-minded team and offensive-minded comp, but Merchant continuously having to use these ultimates defensively, not finding like big damage, not finding like barriers with them, but instead just having to use them on defense over and over again. And now it's going to lose both barriers without even having that ult, either as an option or just not able to use it in time. But now it's really important that they get bubble barrier here fast in order to keep this on an even pace. But instead, it's going to be Dropletto being staggered, but not many cooldowns. I don't know if 3Z has ult here or not. Might have to just burn the flip here from Dropletto just to survive or try to get some amount of value of it, but gets unstaggered. 3Z ult does come out, but we both use both flips just to evade. Basically, which is kind of funny, but there's the dash punch. We have the KO and Monumentalist coming in huge for Stealth Rock.
Yeah, difficult point for BOZO there. Well done by Bomba, who after the great flip episode is going to be having a big energy lead here. Luke with the flip, Stealth Rock coming up on one. 3Z not having one, but is going to be getting both barriers anyway, so here it's looking like that momentum was the difference maker, as that's a 10-second point, a huge collapse, and a big Bomba point right there.
Yeah, the flip, the dash punch to clear it away from 3Z Breezy allows Stealth Rock to dig into into BOZO Bunch to grab that point. And now first pick of the litter is going to be 3Z with Adrenaline Rush. Been getting tons of KOs, so they really need to not let these KOs happen from now on, because it's just over. It's just over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how many times they nerf this Adrenaline Rush Awakening. If you get a KO, you should get the point. That's what it makes it. It's such a powerful awakening for that reason alone, that you just now have a win condition. Like, if you get KO, you go score. It should be how it works. I mean, hopefully I'm not proven wrong, but we'll see.
No, I 100% agree. 3Z has been doing really well with the KOs, putting on the damage. Again, I was wrong. I was talking some like, oh, well, they're only heavy impact. They're only good damage, heavy impact guys. Shut up. Right. Nice, man. The damage is coming out. The KOs are coming through, and I agree. Like, even if a Adren Rush was you only get speed, no CD reduction, I'm still first picking it. That's awesome. Get a KO, and then you are that fast. Like, come on now.
Yeah, they don't tell you about the Mako damage, by the way. They don't tell you about the Mako damage, but
they don't. It's true.
Yeah, Droppo was currently getting beat up, kind of fighting Mako, but here's the ult and kind of like lay down damage, but we're really just like trying to score at this point. It really just doesn't feel like damage is an option with how much core control that Bomba currently possesses. The flip is going to get the KO, and the punch is going to, despite getting hit during the cast, reach the ball, and the Boudreaux is going to be taken out from Gravella, and another Monumentalist secondary is going to finish it off. And just a really valuable point for Bomba already. Not only just getting a KO, but getting that recovery drone, making Josh another option to be dash punched for Adrenaline Rush.
Yep. And 2 points away from winning the series here. The dash punch, like you mentioned, coming out, burning the flip right there. Really dangerous situation. BOZO has a lot of control right here, but I think what we've been seeing all game, been talking a lot about how 3Z's playing, and obviously, again, getting these dash punches, has the Adrenaline Rush, is going to be worth watching out. I think Stealth Rock with this Monu now, brave of me to say, but the Monu now has been performing exceptionally. I think Gramella in general has been struggling to beat its control, because in a lot of situations where Gramella has the ball,
Punchy ankle.
It just creeps out of his hands. That being said, they got the barriers really early at that point, and I think that's all that really matters for BOZO Bunch here. I think they will eventually, if they can, it's gonna sound dumb, but if they can hold on to their barriers and then take their barriers first,
they just gotta do that.
Yeah,
again.
like
yeah.
then they're gonna be good. Yeah, just do that again.
Yeah, just do that again.
I think when they take the barriers first, it puts a lot of pressure onto Bomba. which is going to make this a much closer game as
I don't know.
BOZO is.
I don't know, Ian. Maybe just do that again. Maybe they should just do that again.
Just do that again. They are sweeping with the momentum right now. A turn of the tables, and again, vested interest in this match. That's what I like to see. Is going to be they're going to have to close it. We saw last game they were unable to close it at the very end. I've been talking a lot about how 3Z and Stealth Rock have been doing great
Bang!
at holding on, but it doesn't matter because they just did that 3 times in a row.
Yeah, what just happened? Yeah, what just happened?
They just kept doing it.
Hey guys, I'm back from my break. Whoa, what the? We're talking about how BOZO was struggling. What just happened?
What happened here?
All right. I see extra special. I don't know. Surely it's extra special, right? Yeah. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good.
Yep.
Peak performance.
I'm looking at if 1-2 punch falls to drop, his game might be over. I think that sounds exceptional, and obviously it's a great deny, but it's also a phenomenal X awakening. So I think that is a real turntabler. Again, we got one of those like. In the teacup ride where you have to spin the thing, it's one of those, and we're spinning it.
Yeah, we got the impacts hit harder though. Look at that.
Yeah, we did see Built Different come out for 3Z. That's going to be pretty now. Like Stealth Rock has to sit back, has to play the defense. 3Z gets a great explosive dash punch to get the barriers, and now Bomba has a little bit more breathing room. Stealth Rock's able to walk up, but that's gonna be a big dash punch from Dropletto there, and I don't know if this team can get it done without Stealth Rock or without Luke. We've been seeing KOs come out on both of them.
Flips.
Stealth Rock back, but 2 flips burned.
Well,
it is going in though, so
sure.
I hate to see that second flip, but if it's in, it's in. All of a sudden, BOZO 2 points away from bringing us to a game 3. Suddenly, things don't look so Bomba favored anymore.
And even with the flip being burned, it still has been energy advantage with Merchant's flip online, and I believe. Never mind. I was gonna look up. I was looking at fire up, but no, that doesn't matter. But Dropletto gonna survive that one. I do think the dash got the second hit. I don't even know if that's real or not. Like everything's fake, man. I don't listen to a Mega Striker's place. I don't know what they're talking about. But big damage is gonna end up falling on Dropletto despite all of the pressure from the Merchant's ult. Not gonna just end up working, and now a lot of cooldowns used, but the clear does come out through the use of all of them, and now Merchant's gonna help keep it up a little bit longer, which is exactly how their defensive strategy really is supposed to go. And now Dropletto's back online, and they're in the corner. They are in the corner. It's out of the corner. But it's in the corner. It's in the corner. They've gotten the barrier, and it's wide open for Dropletto. Great passing play. A little bit of an overcommit to the top with no one really there, putting the pressure on. The good little pull out from BOZO Bunch to get out of their the other opponent's goal zone to find space to find that goal. Because again, Luke does not have strike shot. Not that it would have been available there likely anyway, but it just means that you can get a lot more open shots just on the net. So they should keep watching out for those.
Yep. We've been seeing BOZO has scored, I believe, 5 points in a row, is now 1 point away from winning. The first 4, I think the recipe for success was that they just got the barriers early. But that's a big KO onto Stealth Rock again. The BOZO Bunch brought their boots, and that's 1 barrier. 2 flips for Bomba here.
Wise man
but that's another KO!
A wise man once said, why does BOZO have all of their best characters? And right now, it's Merchant is going to drop into pain, but it's going to go all the way back and barely miss their own barrier. Not able to flit off in time either. And now this power play is actually might go in the other direction as the primary is going to actually own barrier. Merchant still has this flip though. Could opt to use it right now to get this barrier. Does, but ult in barrier can now commit it. They don't have that much to score, but 3Z going to also commit a bunch of things on the offense. Dropletto has that 1-2 punch we were talking about earlier. Huge scoring boost for the team. The speed of this core is so fast. Merchant is just slinging it.
Whoa there.
Okay. Nice shot from Gramella. Honestly, that was quite the shot. If we can. Really showing off why that team player is so powerful and how you're able to use that speed to get around the goalie. So now Merchant though is going to have the ult, sets it up. Honestly, I wish we just seen the strike there I don't think the ult was necessary, but it's could still end up a barrier.
Oh.
Very narrow miss from Grimella. But now the dash punch is gonna come through. No evade's gonna come out from Merchant in time, and now it's a lot of pressure. Thuzy's gonna probably flip this in the corner again and strike it right at the goalie or something. But you never know. You never know. It might be something a little bit better. Stealth Rock is covering. Good Doritos shift to cover it. Back past the loop to find the out clear. Really smart and scary. So honestly, a little scary spot for Merchant, but it's gonna be fine. Josh kind of panicking a little bit, using the thing, and there's the corner flip we've been waiting for. That is absolutely why do we even try?
8 years,
Why do we
man.
pretend we want to win? Why do we do flips like this? But Dropletto with the good defense to keep it back down. Merchant gonna keep it through. No dash now, but a good pass to 3Z Breezy. Gonna do the run up into a nice shot. Really nice play from the forward duo to put this to a yet another set 5.5.
Yep, and we're seeing it again. BOZO Bunch is just struggling to close out this game. Looking at their energy bars, though, always important to watch throughout the set. They have the energy advantage big time here. And really, if they can just get these, barriers, that's one big KO. That's great use of the flip. That's one barrier. They have the offense. They have the power play. This is their opportunity. 3Z looking to stall, doing everything he can. But right now, 3Z on a breakaway might be able to get another barrier. Looking for a flip, just dribbling it up right now. It's looking scary. It's all rides on this. BOZO Bunch's playoffs chances right here. The flip though burned, and now Grimella coming up on one. Merchant has one.
They're in the corner. The flip comes out, but used a little early. 3Z's dash punch is able to catch it in time, but now there's the ult. Once again, extra special helping out quite a bit, but Dropletto is getting KO'd. We have a ton of speed here, though. The flip's not going to be able to contain Grimella. Grimella really able to keep it in here forever, but like it's a question of can Merchant get involved somehow in this offense? But there's the recovery drone coming in huge right now in order to just not only, like once again, dash punch now gone for a little bit of time. Merchant has the flip. They both sides really kind of want to attack from the top, but it's just so scary because they both don't want to defend from the same side of the barrier. So who's gonna like really want to take that risk? And right now, Merchant is feeling a little ballsy. You know, has that secondary, like wants to just throw it up. Dropletto gonna die, but like honestly greeted a little bit. But Josh has this insane speed right now. Still has the ult. Is able to stall for quite a bit of time. Luke is good win on the primary, and Merchant still has flip to stall this out just a little bit more, but not even going to need it because some good dribbles from Grimella. Dropletto now back online. Should have some cooldowns up. Used both of them immediately, but we could still have the ult. It's probably going to be what he's looking for here. Really good spacing up on purpose, but box out from 3Z on both of them to get that through. But Merchant not even going to need the flip to put it in. Dropletto's strike reset does not come out quite in time. Merchant has that team player in overtime plus the flip. It's really scary. Dropletto not able to cover it across though. Let's see where the speed goes. It's going to go down, but we don't trust each other enough and not going to cover it down quite in time. A great shot from Stealth Rock is going to finish this one off 2-0. Grimella looks into 3Z's eyes and says, after all this time, and 3Z says, oh, hell no. Puts that in.
Crazy ending to a crazy series, but that is going to be Bomba taking it 2-0 right there. 33-minute game, 33 and a half. Wow, again, just back-to-back set 5.5 bangers, but in the end, I think that Bomba just had a better comp for closing out points, and I think they were just better at sealing the deal. So we saw BOZO Bunch on a crazy 5-point streak to bring it back from the brink, but in the end, just not quite able to do it. And that means that welcome to hell, everyone. welcome to, I said this was the end of the regular season. That was a joke. I lied to you for my own personal benefit, for my sick kicks, because we have tiebreakers now. And so if BOZO Bunch were able to win, they would just be in slam dunk. Instead, we are going to have more NASL next week to decide who is going to be the last player or the last team in playoffs here between HMG, Polar Cortex, and BOZO Bunch. Each of those teams have a win against each other. They are all 3-6 now ending the season. We will be having a 3-6 team creeping into playoffs here, like you said.
It's messed up.
Last season, 10th place.
10th place, by the way. 10th place, 3-6 last season, by the way. 10th. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yeah.
It's not over yet. Hey, who likes NASL? Who wants more?
More NASL. More NASL.
there's nobody on this planet who has plans that would really benefit from having all 6 playoffs teams decided today. So, isn't that great? So we get the regular season to keep going, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes next week because we got no more NASL today.
Dude, I'm supposed to be doing at a Pokemon regional next week with Gramella. What's gonna happen? Are they gonna? Are the games on Saturday? What? I hope.
I have a vested interest in keeping that Saturday open. So
okay, all right. Maybe we'll see a different day. Hopefully,
we'll figure it out.
We can all work it out. But also, but yeah, on some final notes on the game. Kind of interesting. Opposite of the first game where BOZO has more points, but lost. So as opposed to had 4 less points and then won, which means though probably good chances for them doing this well against a playoff team, playing against other 3 and 6 teams. So hopefully the full roster gets their chance to shine and the tiebreakers. But is there anything else you want to say, Ian?
I'm so tired. That series was so long. I was really, again, just did not want to see tiebreakers happen. Would make my life a lot easier if that didn't happen. But the Breezy Breezy 10 KOs, Monu now, a little bit of Mako action, is going to be doing nothing, literally nothing for Bomba. Hey, you saw that game. You all pro voters, eyeballs emoji. You know what to do. In the meantime, BOZO Bunch has successfully, temporarily been gatekept from playoffs. On the other hand, HMG, very happy. Their playoffs chances back. If BOZO Bunch won, they would just... Would that be a tiebreaker? I think...
Or none. If it's 1-1, that's whoever wins. So because it's exactly 3 and they've all beat each other once, they have to... there's a tiebreaker. If one of them had beat the other 2, there would be no tiebreaker. But because there's a 3-way Ouroboros type of situation, they will all have to play one more time.
Yeah. So, and to conclude, I'm living in a nightmare that will never end, and I'm gonna wake up in a cold sweat tonight. So, hey, we got a post show though. Hey, stay tuned. I think
stay tuned for the post
show. Stay tuned for the post show.
Yippee! Stay tuned.
Right, we'll be right back. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Yippee.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Point of Grand Finals, a long journey, all comes down to this. Looking for a passing lane, there's the opening on the outside, the pass, it's wide open, a beautiful shot to the corner, they've reached the summit!
Welcome back, everyone. I'm still floating ahead, not in my normal spot, and we've done it. Woohoo! Regular season is almost over. Unfortunately, it's not. For the first time ever, we have three-way tie. Last season, we saw two teams play their tiebreakers, and it was Cinema, and so now the NASL scriptwriters were like, you know what would be cool? And what if we had a three-way tie and just make it real scrappy for the last spot? So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see that. A lot of historic moments, actually. It'll be the first time where a 3-6 team makes it. Also the first time that there's two 8-1 teams, and the first time that a rookie team or a new team was straight up first seed. Calm was the closest. They got second seed tied for first. So that's pretty cool. So since Carmine's here, Carmine, in 30 seconds, I want you to talk about how your experience with Rat Pack has been different, because you haven't really been on a team that's found the success. This is going to be your first time in playoffs over your
Yeah,
3 or 4 seasons. So talk to me about that.
honestly, after a certain point in my career, I like in OS, I didn't really think playoffs was like something I could really attain for NASL without like a lot of like luck. So this has definitely been like awesome. I kind of just I knew that something was different when I was like playing with Tempa Melon, like trying out with her and some other goalies. So picking up fresh was like I don't know, it was just sealing the deal, you know. So it's been a great ride, right? I've been having a lot of fun with these two. I think that's why we've been doing so well, low key.
Nice. W. And then 3Z, obviously, this is a new team for you. Never teamed with Luke. And then Shape going into midfield was a big question mark. So now that we're on the far end of this season, I want to hear about how you're feeling going into playoffs. This time around, you're obviously no stranger to playoffs, and I know you're hungry for the NASL chip after the land win. So how do you feel about going into playoffs this season versus your past seasons?
I definitely feel more confident. I think, not to like make excuses, but I think in the past my mental health hasn't been great. It's been a large factor as to why my team hasn't done well in playoffs some seasons. So I think I'm doing a lot better in that regard, which is great. Um, so and I'm also really confident in my teammates. I think this is the second season in a row where I've teamed with a rookie midfielder. I guess in this case it's a role swap, and they're being talked about as like an MVP or top one, top three in their position. So I'm really happy that I'm able to kind of play in a way that enables my midfielder and lets them kind of perform at a high level. And I think that's exactly what shape Mr. Stealth Rock has been doing this season. He's been playing like an absolute freak beast, like just crazy competitor. Every week he shows up and he brings 110% of 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 what he's got. Sorry, I'm like a little out of it. I'm sick and I just like lost so much energy playing that series. It probably took like 10 years off my life. And then Luke as well. That guy's a giga beast. Um, he's got a little whimsy, which I appreciate. He's got that young blood energy. He's got that dog in him too. So fresh off that second place at Denver. So I'm doing a lot of yapping, but yeah, I'm excited about playoffs. I think we didn't show what we had in the regular season against boys, obviously because we had subs, and then Rat Pack because of a little week one shenanigans. So I think we're ready to face those teams again in playoffs.
W. For people who don't know, for the knowers, let's just be clear. The matchup is definitely going to be Rat Pack versus Bomba and Sad Boys versus Demon Time. Like, we're under no illusion. I mean, technically they haven't chosen, but let me just tell you what's going to happen, okay? Maybe for fun they'll mix it up, but I just want, if you're at home listening, like, that will be the round ones. Like, let's be clear. Not up to me, up to the Rat Pack, but that's what I'm imagining is to happen. So, last but not least, before we move down to the losers bracket teams, I have Demon Time. I have Huss as a captain. First time that he's teamed with Gumi outside of a LAN. And obviously one of the veterans, one of the only people that's played every season alongside me and 3Z. There's less and less of us actually as the seasons go on. So I like that we're still holding it down. And I want you to talk about what it's been like with such a stylistic switch up to teaming with Gumi, moving on from Barcode over the last couple seasons. What's that been like for you and Chianzu and how have you guys found your success this season?
I won't lie, like we've looked really good sometimes, or most times, I guess. You know, we won 6 games, but those 3 losses just showed like we can like be inconsistent. But with Gumi, like that guy kind of just makes like offense really easy.
Yeah.
It's kind of a trade-off because like you know how he is when he plays like hyper aggro. You can leave gaps.
You know how he is.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
played
feel
him a
like
couple times.
in our series versus EKC today, it kind of just showed like a lot of the points we looked really dominant and we were just like getting a lot of kills and stuff. And I think they scored on us when we had like a power play on them like 3 times just because like they found a gap past us and like that's just what we had to live with when we run like hyper offense like that. But like I haven't really been able to like get so many kills in a season before, man. Like this is like all kind of new to me. Like I feel like King Von right now on the KOs, dude. Like just killing everyone. I think the only one who's like out of the brawlers that has had more kills than me is like the devil himself, NXZD,
NX.
the KO like Lord Overlord. So yeah, like it just goes to show like yeah, with Barcode we had like it's like 2 opposite ends of a spectrum. Barcode's gonna hold it down for us and like give me so many chances to score, and I'll be like one of the top scorers. But with Gumi, I'll be like a top scorer and killer because he'll enable my offense better, even though like we get scored on more. So yeah, that's kind of just the 2 ends of the spectrum. Just offense versus defense.
Hey, I very much get that. Trust me, there's no one else that understands the way of the offense more. As I say, hey, the barriers exist for me to take strike wars at the midfield. Okay,
That's facts.
I'm not there to defend the Bears. The Bears are there to play goalie for me until they're done. Okay, so Vaughn, Savoys had a great season. Obviously fraudulent as all hell, and everyone. There's a reason why they lost to you, and in playoffs you'll be exposed. Is there anything you're hoping to get out of the season at this point? Considering you're just cooked at this point. Yeah, thank you, me. I think the thing that I'm looking forward to most is I think that unfortunately a lot of people are going to look at our team and see that we're like really strong as 3, and it's going to detract from like the recognition people will get on my team. But I really want to shout out my brawler. I think that guy has absolutely crushed the league this season. Like Champ Ocean, by the way. Like, let's be clear. Zen, Rasmus, Julie, X, Drek, Juno, Zentaro, Rasmus. I think I said Rasmus twice. Like he plays like a whole bunch of stuff and he's really effective on all of it. He's scored the most goals this season. He looks like a beast. So I wanted to shout him out because I think he's had a really good season, and I think it's really easy when you're on a team with assumed top like backline to just be like, oh yeah, like anyone can do that, and that's just not true. So I wanted to shout out my brawler because I really think that guy has had a legacy season. Really, really impressive. I think one of the best brawler seasons of all time. And I think he's really fundamentally like fleshed out his game in a way that I think in the past was not present. So I wanted to say that about him. Okay, last but not least, Coach Rob on RTF. Obviously, the boys took it home. We're locked into playoffs. Hungry Boys finally here. Talk to me, Robert. What do we have to say?
You know, we're running a great organization here at Return to Form. I'm really proud of the work we've done. Our scouting department, top tier. Our players, best in the league when they're not messing up. And I'm just glad that we got it done today. I'm glad we didn't have to go to tiebreakers. We're in playoffs, and I just want to take this moment to shout them out, all of them. They've been a wonderful team to work with, and I'm excited to see what we can do, make some noise in the losers bracket. Thank you.
Couldn't have said better myself. And knowers know sometimes the best chance you have to win is in the losers bracket. Sources say that some teams have won the whole thing from the losers bracket, so we will
Many
see
people
if
are
that's
saying
the
it.
case. That's fact. We're all saying this, Rob. So with that being said, the one last thing I want to talk about is I want everyone to discuss which team that they think is going to emerge from the bloodbath of tiebreakers between HMG, Polar Cortex, and Bozo Bunch, which I think is an incredibly hard choice to make. And I'm not going to answer it first, which is why it's so hard. So I'm going to return to Ratman Rob because he and I are soulmates in terms of our NASL takes. So what he says, I'll probably end up agreeing with. So Rob, who's making it out and filling out our 6th spot this season?
You know, it's tough to say. This last week has really shown all these teams, I think they all lost. So you can take a lot from that. If I had to pick a team, like me personally, I'm probably giving it to Polar. And it's not because they took a game off of us. It's because they took a game off of us in a grueling fashion. That's the kind of game that winners win. When you're just in the mud, set 5, every point feels like you're fighting for your life. And that's why I think Polar Cortex is going to come out on top. I think they're the only team to take a game today, right?
I think you're right, actually.
Exactly.
Hey, enough said. All right, we're going to turn it over to, we'll just go in reverse order. So we'll go to Huss. Huss, who's making it out of those 3 teams?
It's tough, dude. Like, if I had to really pick, I think I just had to say HMG because they beat me in regular season, and like I know how good they can be. But man, the other 2 teams, like the series I just watched, like Bozo was like so close, man. It's just heartbreaking because just losing 2 set 5.5s back to back, it's just like it's really crushing. So depending on how they come out from that, if they wanna take that to motivate them to go into the tiebreakers and push them to actually make it. Bozo Bunch is definitely a team that can find a way to just make playoffs every season. So depending on how they react to the loss today, I think they're capable of doing it. And then Polar, I've scrimmed them a few times, and they just look really good. The way they've improved, just to highlight their brawler, named Chaotic, is just... We've all seen him, how he's improved this season. I think we all have him on our ballot for most improved, probably. Like, that team is definitely capable of taking it too. But HMG has a brawler as well who's just, like, one of the best to touch the game. Just to glaze my boy Snake a bit. Yeah, like... He just went crazy on my team in the regular season, and I kind of just had to back HMG to make it out of that.
All right, W. 3Z, let's hear your take.
Well, there's some speculation on whether Gromala will be able to make it for tiebreakers. Because I think Bozo Bunch today played the best they've ever played all season. I think Drop has had some really good performances the last few weeks. So I think Bozo's momentum is like really good. Merchant also played like a crazy beast today, especially that last game. So I would be excited to watch Bozo. Obviously Gromala is like the heart and soul of that team, so if he's not there, then it's a little more dubious as to how they'll perform. So I'll say Bozo. And then if Gromala's not there, I'll give it to HMG, I guess. I don't really know about Polar and HMG. The thing with Polar is they keep shooting themselves in the foot. Like the last 2 weeks, game 3, they've kind of messed up their draft. But Aiden today said, "Fool me once, fool me twice," and they won't be fooling him thrice. So we'll see if they can correct their drafting mistakes. In the tiebreaker.
W.
Yeah.
Carmine?
We'll see. Easy Polar Cortex sweep. Definitely not
W.
because they're the only team out of the 3 to take a game off of us, but like, I mean, Zoro and A are always very consistent. Obviously, great defense from them. Named Chaotic scaling with each loss under his belt. I think he's ready to take the leap into playoffs. So that's all I have here. Polar sweep.
Question: didn't Bozo Bunch beat you on Gates of Obscura? Oh, I just saw chat as well.
We don't talk about that loss, so like it's
okay. Yeah, the agenda must be maintained.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. So
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean, bro. Holy cheesy, I know what you mean. All right, last but not least, it's me. Honestly, I have no idea. Rob, what'd you say?
Polar.
Nah, Polar griefed their brains out by not banning Kazan. I literally told them what to do in pre-show. Another common week where I tell a team what to do in pre-show and they don't pay attention and then they lose, by the way, chatting. I'm going to actually go with BOZO because I think Drop Leto is so sexy as a brawler.
Dude,
and
he was so crazy sexy today. It was unreal.
And I am biased, and I went Denver with that guy, and I want to see him in playoffs. God, I love his brawler. It's so dreamy. I love that fucking guy's brawler playstyle. It's awesome.
He's such a bastard.
Then, not to mention his teammates. I am a fan of both of them. Except for when Merchant is on Rasmus. No Snow. So other than that, I love those guys. And those games were cinema. I said it in Twitch chat, but I was so happy that was the last game of the day. Those games were the last day because I got to the end of the day and I just got to watch an absolute treat with like smart plays from all 6 players and like really intense moments and highlights. And I was just like, dude, yes, like the hashtag why we play. So I'm gonna give it to BOZO just to mix it up. But it's legit too hard. Anyone one of those can win. So I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Before we go, shout out to EKC and Dog Slayers 3. W. No winless teams in NASL is always a win in my book, and I think every single player on those teams had like a nice highlight moment. I will say the 2-7, 1-8. Like I feel like if one set goes differently, or two, those teams are in playoff contention. So that's pretty cool. And before we go, 2 announcements. One, if you're eligible for All Pro voting, those will get sent out eventually. It'll be all players and then some staff. And then also, Dropletto has his own for fun side content he's doing for NASL, which I think he just linked and has been announced in announcements. I think anyone can fill that out, and it's not just for NASL, it's just for anything. So if you want to help him out with that, he'd love help with that as well. It's more of like all pro, but for everyone. So it's a nice way to celebrate our community. With that being said, this is the almost end of the regular season. We got a little tiebreakers in store for you next week, and then tune in to playoffs in 2 weeks to watch the top 6 teams in North America attempt for the Season 7 chip. My name is Vaughn, produced obviously by Saya MF Duck, and this has been the North American Strikers League Season 7, Week 9. This will be the last regular season post show, so thanks for sticking around, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.